In this video, I will tell you what you need to know about America's and the world's first $10 billion super nuke, which has the ability to destroy like nothing mankind has ever seen. Let's go.
No one can do it better.
The year was 1945. The Second World War was raging. In August, it opened a devastating chapter in world history. The US became the first country to use an atomic bomb in war. It dropped the first bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. About 140,000 people died. 3 days later, the US detonated a second atomic bomb, this time on the city of Nagasaki, killing about 74,000 people. It was catastrophic. Cut to today. The US Department of Defense has released a statement. It plans to build a new nuclear bomb called the B-6113. It will be one of the largest and strongest bombs in America's nuclear stockpile. To give you an idea, the B-6113 will be 24 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, which was a 15-kiloton bomb, and 14 times more powerful than the one dropped on Nagasaki, which was 25 kilotons. The B-61 is a nuclear gravity bomb, meaning it is dropped from an aircraft. It falls on its target by gravity, and devastation ensues. This bomb has been in service since 1968. Since then, several versions of it have been created. They all have different yields and features. The latest version was the B-6112. It was produced in 2020. 3 years later, America wants to upgrade this bomb to create the B-6113 or the 13th version. It will have a yield of 360 kilotons and will include modernized safety, security, and accuracy features. It will also provide more flexibility for strategic, targeted attacks. For now, the US has simply announced its pursuit to build the bomb. It is seeking congressional approval and funding. If approved, the bomb will not increase America's nuclear stockpile, because the Pentagon plans to simply replace some of the largest and most powerful bombs, like the B-61-7S and the B-83-1S, and in their stead, use the B-6113. Thanks to its strength, it sounds efficient, but this plan is not without controversy. For starters, the bomb is costly. Reports say it will cost America about $10 billion. On top of that, critics argue that there is no real need for this bomb. It has a high yield. The bigger the bomb, the more the damage. All of it is not necessarily wanted. The B-6113 could cause more collateral damage than expected and in turn escalate matters. But for now, the Pentagon has its heart set on its new nuclear toy. The question is, why? Tensions are rising around the globe. In America's words, the security environment is changing and threats from potential adversaries are growing. Who are these adversaries? Mainly Russia and China, America's biggest competitors in terms of nuclear stockpiles. No one knows the exact number, but according to experts, Russia has 4,489 nuclear weapons, followed by the US with 3,708, and China with 410, and all three have been trying to increase their stockpiles. Reports say in recent years they have all built new facilities and dug new tunnels at their nuclear test sites. Since tensions are rising, and so are nuclear dangers, only time will tell if America's decision will be for better or worse.
America's new super nuke, giving off a blast radius of roughly 190,000 feet, the length of 2 Manhattans. What is B-61-13's power compared to the Hiroshima warhead? The uranium-based atomic bomb dubbed Little Boy was dropped on Hiroshima, which was home to 320,000 people when it was released in 1945. It also packed 141 pounds of uranium, while the new B-61-13 is all plutonium. Talk about an upgrade there. The explosion produced a supersonic shockwave followed by extreme winds that remained above hurricane force over 1 mile from ground zero. A secondary and equally devastating reversed wind followed, flattening and severely damaging homes and buildings several miles away. The intense heat of the Hiroshima bomb reached over 12,000 degrees Fahrenheit and scorched flesh and other flammable materials over 1 mile away. Flash burns from the primary heat wave caused most of the deaths in Hiroshima. That means the people were burned alive. That's what caused the deaths, not just the huge blasts, but most people died from being burned up. It's a tough way to go. This new super nuke, the detonation would create a mass fire with a more than 4-mile radius, generating winds and hurricanes force above 220 degrees Fahrenheit. You're just going to be in like a wind of fire. It's basically just hurricane winds of fire. Experts believe the fire would also burn for over 6 hours, creating a lethal environment over more than 65 square miles, nowhere to run, an area about 10 to 15 times larger than that incinerated in Hiroshima. This is significantly larger than Hiroshima, said Wilson. If you drop it on New York City, it will blast Jersey City and all of Manhattan, causing 1 million fatalities and 2 million more casualties. The B6112 program has been controversial because of its high price tag. It was estimated in 2010 to cost $4 billion, but the National Nuclear Security Administration estimate ballooned to $8 billion in 2012. They basically lied about it for 2 years, and then later on they tell you that it's double. And the Defense Department set the cost at $10.4 billion in 2013. It went up 2.5 times the cost in 3 years. That's what they reported. So they were reporting at the beginning it cost $4 billion, which is already just an evil amount of money. And then by the time 213 came around, they decided to tell you what we think is the truth, which we don't even know if that's the truth, but that it costs $10.4 billion. Just amazing. And that shows the lying and the hypocrisy there, because they didn't want you to know you're spending all that money. Your tax dollars is going towards this. I mean, this thing's going to be $20 billion by the time we get down to the truth. The B61-12 program is probably by now the most expensive nuclear bomb program in U.S. history. The report notes that each B61-12 costs more to make than if it were made of solid gold. Let that sink in. They can make it burst in the air, and they can make it burst on the ground if they want. They can so choose. If they explode it in the air, that's what would cause all of the electrical systems not to work. However, the B6113 is controversial and costly. Some critics argue that the U.S. does not need such a high-yield bomb. I agree, which could cause more collateral damage and escalation, which is part of a $1.7 trillion. Let me say that again, which is a part of a $1.7 trillion plan to modernize the entire U.S. nuclear arsenal over 30 years. I mean, $1.7 trillion, you guys, is so much. You really can't even comprehend how much money that is. 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. So it's 1,700 billion. And 1 billion, for scale here, is 1,000 million. I mean, the numbers are just crazy that they spend on killing. Well, we're seeing man just full of violence and evil right now in these last days. So let's get into these scriptures here. Genesis 6:7 through 10. And Yah said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. I mean, he was so upset just because of all the evil and sin and everything going on in the earth. He was sad that he made everybody. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. All praises. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We know that the line of promise is from Shem. Last verses, Matthew chapter 24, verses 34 to 39, to kind of bring this all home and to where we are now in these last days, in these end times. And as you guys know, my channel is all about that preparedness and making it to heaven. Our life mission is to make it to heaven. Those of you that want to make it to heaven and want to be guided by the scriptures, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button right now. Matthew 24, 34 to 39. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. And we're seeing that. We're living in it. It's just like the days of Noah. Just sin and violence and evil running rampant. Verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. I just wanted to bring these verses out, you guys, so I could show you the parallel between where we are now in these end times and how it's just similar with these nuclear bombs, these $10-20 billion super nuclear bombs that all man can do is find a way to destroy each other. What do you guys think? Do you guys believe that we're in the last days like I do? Can you see the violence upon the earth? Leave a comment. All praises to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. This is Crown Prince Media. I am the Crown Prince. Let's go.
No one can do it better.